welcome to the channel. It's W163, so we are back with the ML55. So if you remember in the last video, we did like motor mounts, I did the bushings on the rack, we modified the rear bumper, which make it a lot cooler, and we test fitted my roughly 32s that came off my 430. So in doing the 32s, I just tested them on the front. We gained like maybe a half an inch, maybe more or less. So what we're going to be doing in this video, we're going to be doing some well-needed maintenance and an upgrade that I think is pretty cool, and a lot of ML guys do it. And for you who don't know, this upgrade is super cheap and will save you a big headache. So what we're going to be doing on the ML55, we're putting, bam, new shocks up front. Because these ones are blown. I'll do a whole test and I'll show you it. We're going to compare the old and the new ones. But so these are from a Toyota 4Runner. Man, I can't remember the year, but I'll put it in the description. Here's the actual part that I ordered. This is from Advance. They're super cheap. It came up to like $48.36, and that was when it shipped to my house and everything. The kit comes with a series of bushings and all that stuff. But what you need with these to make them work on the front of ML55, remember these are rear for Toyota 4Runner. For the ML55 front is, you're going to need like their little spacer insert. So you could just make these or whatever. I bought them from a guy on just on the forums and all that stuff. He sells front bumpers. He sells a lot of stuff for the ML55. And he's done a lot with the platform, just with like suspension of just making videos and showing people. So I'm going to put a link to his YouTube on there and put a link where you can buy them. They're relatively cheap, like 30 bucks. And it saves you all the hassle of going to look for them. It's like Infidel Garage is the name. I'll put a link and everything underneath. But so far, they're super good quality. They slide right into the bushings that go in there. I don't want to push it all the way in because I might not be able to get it back out easily. It slides right in, and that bushing goes in there, and then the bolt will go right in there. So we're going to start knocking it out on here, and I'm going to show you the big difference of why I'm upgrading to these. Mainly, it's the travel. And they're brand new. Mine are pretty shot. So I'm going to try to show you how bad these shocks are right now. So I can literally... And I'm not even that strong. So if you can hear, the shocks are making a horrible noise. They kind of bounce all over, and I'm guaranteed that's not how they're supposed to be. Because I went and tested on my 430, and the 430, like, they kind of absorb it a lot better. Maybe that video wasn't the best idea, but I don't know if you could also hear that. That's the shock. They're completely blown. They're leaking everywhere. So we're going to pull this tire off, start ripping it apart, and knock into it. Alright, first thing you do is remove that fender flare. It's a series of 10s. It just pops in, it comes right out, and it gives you so much more room in here. See, now I can see the actual top of the shock mount. You could see the exhaust if you need to do anything like that cat-wise. And if you need to do a tune-up on this truck, holy poop. You remove these valve cover, the inner fender liner, and you could get to every single one of them. Maybe not, yeah, every one of them. I usually can see every one with ease. You just gotta do the coral packs up top. And if you need to pull this manifold off, holy crap, this is probably the easiest looking one I've ever seen. And the starters right there, geez. You pull these fender flares off and you get a lot. Maybe, yeah, that looks like, that looks about it that you really do like would be so much easier. And if you need to do, one thing I will be doing soon is, bam, probably going to be doing some little body lifts. Because they're right here, they look super easy. You knock a bolt out, put it in. I'm really debating on doing that now, because seeing how easy it is to get to them. But now it looks like it's just this shock tower bolt. It should be right up there. And then right up the bottom, just be very careful with this type of stuff because it is under load, or it should be. And then just be very careful, that's about it. So this bottom bolt is going to be a 21, alright? So when you take this out, it's going to be under load, so be careful. So I usually will put like a jack under here just to put tension on it, and then when I remove it, then I can slowly lower it down. The only reason I effing didn't is because, first of all, I'm not that strong, but look it. I might have some right hand strength, but not enough to take a shock and just go like this the whole time. See, that's that noise we kept hearing slamming. And this shock isn't absorbing anything. It's just going donka, 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 donka. So we're going to rip it out on the top, and that top bolt should be, what is this? A 16. And then you're just going to, whoop, whiz it right out, and the shock should come out. They're pretty easy to do, like literally. And then don't lose any of the parts or anything like that, because you're going to need them. The other thing is, you can see, these shocks don't even reach the end of it. Since I took all the pressure off and took the bolt, they don't even extend long enough. It's like a, I don't know if you can even see, it's like an inch too short to get these off, which that kind of stinks. You know what I mean? So the new shocks, hopefully will take care of it. So we're just going to whiz this off and keep going. One little tech tip, you take vice grips on the top of there and take a ratcheting 16 and you can kind of break it loose and get it. Definitely need a tripod. Not gonna be able to do this at the same time. I'll try to give you a good angle. Nope. But you kind of get the idea. You put that on there, you take that one in there, and then just go, maybe I could do it with one hand. Ooh, don't break anything. Oh, see? Whew. I already broke loose, so this nut just comes all the way up. Pretty easy. Don't do it like this, because, I mean, have one hand here, have one on here. I'm just doing it just because I already broke it loose, and it's actually working out pretty good. Alright, so next part, you're going to start rebuilding and moving parts over. So here's the old shock. One thing you need that I didn't get, you just need all the top stuff, so I just transferred mine over because it didn't look that bad. And then right here is a little nub that you need to cut off. So get your cutoff wheel, and it's going to look just like this. So I already cut mine off. I already kind of like smoothed out the edges on it. And let me show you what it looks like. It might be still a little hot. So it's going to be this little piece right here. And it's pretty easy. It takes like 5 minutes to cut off. Then just take a little grinder and kind of just smooth it all out. Be careful, it's going to be very hot. And then this is going to sit right in here. And where it goes on the car is right... Let me get in here. So you see, let me get more light. Right here, it sits right in there. So you need this part, and those shocks on mine are already destroyed, so I didn't even mind cutting it off. So it'll sit right in there, and it'll be really snug. So make sure this is pretty smooth and everything for the shock to sit against. But it wasn't that bad. Yeah, it takes probably like 3 minutes to cut it off, 2 minutes to just kind of like make it look pretty nice. You can throw a coat of paint on there if you want. I couldn't find anyone who actually sells these, because I'm pretty sure Mercedes, it comes on the shock. So the only way someone would be able to sell them is either they manufacture them, out of light. But I think the cheapest way would be like, yo, if people just go to a junkyard, if you don't want to cut your own shocks, just go to a junkyard. You probably could buy these shocks for like $5, $10 at a junkyard, then you just take it and you can strip it down. And then you're not worried about cutting away at your own shocks. But the benefit of it is once you do this once, you never really got to do it again unless you lose this. So when I want to upgrade to like the Rancho shocks or adjustable shocks or anything like that, this piece is 100% good, never have to rebuy, unless I lose it or destroy it for somehow. But we're going to start rebuilding the shock and keep going. Alright, so with rebuilding the shock, the other things you're taking off the other shocks are going to be the bottom little sandwich part and the top part. So you just take the bushing, it's pretty straightforward. Slide the bottom one, you keep this one for the top. Just keep them arranged how they are. So my shocks didn't really come with these installed, so all I do is grease them up and you push them in. Now here's the parts that we had to order offline. Just take some, I just got dielectric grease in my hand, but just take some sort of grease to slide it in so you're not like forcing it in there and rolling anything. Lube it all up, get the inside, and then this should just slide right in. Yep, see? Perfect. So once you slide that piece in you could just see, I'll show you right here, like, this thing fits there so, like, snug. If you didn't have this piece, you would just have a lot of, like, wobble, and you would start destroying stuff. But right now, that's fitting there so good. And then you're going to take this piece, and when you go put the shock in, just have it right there, just align everything in there. I'm leaving this little blue zip tie on there, just so it's a little bit easier, because they're going to be pretty hard to compress. Maybe I will take it off, we'll see. That way I can show you the actual travel, but just comparing old to new, like right there, this is fully extended, this blown out shock, there was that noise I kept hearing, and then here's the new one. So trying to show you, and this one's compressed, you can see a huge difference in travel I'll have now, and it's definitely going to be a big upgrade for me. So we're going to hop over to the car and start putting them in. Alright, so also what I did just to show you the difference, I took the little blue thing off. So this is the factory one. Mine might be a little bit blown, but Jesus Christ, the fully extended this one, night and day difference. Now my factory one is most likely, it's destroyed, so maybe it's a little bit too compressed. But still, that'll give you so much more travel. And for when you lift the car, you're not being bound up by the shock. So you'll be able to get, like, that is an astronomical more of just lifting the vehicle and not be bound up by the shocks. Also, like, I don't want to drop this one, so let's put that on the center. Like, you can just see, like, okay, here's the factory one. I'm weak as poop. That just literally drops down. That is doing literally nothing. You know what I mean? This one, like, it's a brand new. I'm really struggling with it. I gotta struggle to get that, and then it rebounds so easily. Compared to this POS, like, bump, 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 bump. Look at that. Bump, bump. So, big upgrade. Yep, so we got the upgraded ones all in. Like I said, it's pretty effing straightforward. You know what I mean? You're not going to reuse the top bolt over here from Mercedes. You're going to use the one that came in the new shocks. Mainly it's a new bolt. But you'll reuse all the other stuff I showed you. Very straightforward, very easy. I'm going to leave the fender liner out for right now just because I'm a big firm believer of bolt checking. So I'm going to drive it around for about like a week or two. Take it a little bit off-roading, slam it into things, and then come back and check all my hardware for tightness. It's just something I do for a safety precaution. You guys don't got to do it if you don't want to. But that's what I do. And these fender liners are easy enough to go in and out. So I'm just going to leave it out. That way I can just literally look under the car and check it if anything does happen. So we're going to put this tire back on and hop to the other side. So I just pulled out the other side one. I'm going to cut it up. But like, yeah, it looks like a difference in length. But that's just because, look at the other side one is broken in kind of a different way. Like, it doesn't really even rebound. And like the padding underneath is just literally disintegrating. So this one won't even really travel back out. Yeah, so they both needed to get done. This one's just, it definitely absorbs shock. But the rebound is like, literally nothing. That's been like, that shouldn't be like that. Like, that one's not even moving. This one has no compression. And destroyed internally. And then this one literally has no rebound. So I'm going to see a night and day difference with this car. For about $45 shipped to the house. Very happy. And oh my god, the night and day difference with this car now. Like, it is such a like comfortable ride. And going around corners, it's not like having so much body roll. Like, those shocks need to be done. I don't hear that huge donk, donk, donk anymore, so I'm super happy. Also, what it is, I threw on the, like, basically my 32s, mud trains all around the truck. I took it for a drive. You got a little bit of humming, but, I mean, honestly, I'm so used to that with, like, other cars I had that were mud cars, but so much nicer. These definitely fill up the arches a little bit better, so I am going to be lifting the rear soon. And then same thing with the front. It definitely looks like these tires are definitely filling it up more, so it doesn't look too lifted, but it's looking pretty nice. I'm not hating these rims. I definitely want to go back to the AMG ones, but once I get enough money, because these tires, like, look, these tires are brand effing new. You know what I mean? Barely had any miles on them, so very happy with the truck. Most likely I'm going to go and index it soon for the front end, and then I got some other stuff on the rear to do. Make it pretty nice. That's going to be it today with the ML. So the front shocks made a huge night and day difference. I also threw some new pads up front just for the brakes and all that stuff. I didn't show you because these are Brembo brakes. They're so easy to change. It's 2 pins. And then with the tires, oh my god, like, I'm definitely going to get so much more traction when I go off-roading, because every once in a while with those street tires I would spin. These are going to up my game so much. And the shocks up front, I was like, even on the lift, you can see how much more extra travel you have, so you're not hitting stops. And my shocks were so destroyed. So don't forget to throw a comment down, guys. Like the channel, subscribe, share it with your friends. And I'm going to put a link to all the parts I got. And I could be wrong, they're like it was like a 99 Toyota 4Runner. I'm going to put the links down below. And those little spacers I got, I'm going to put the links to the guy who sold them to me. And I just like to support like small businesses and stuff like that. Yes, I could have made it myself. Yeah, I probably could have saved myself maybe $10 and spent probably like 2 hours of going to get material, cutting it, and all that stuff. Throw someone $35 that shipped to my house. It came really fast. It was by far worth the time of just boom, boom, and you're done. No guessing, no nothing, going to like the parts store and having to build it yourself. So much easier, so I highly recommend his stuff. I'm probably going to be buying some other stuff off him, but until then, catch you guys later.